Hello everyone, back again with film recaps. In this video I am going to recap one of the best movies. The movie is called Companion. Before we get to the storyline, I wish everyone is well and I hope you have a great day. Let's get to the storyline. The movie begins with a girl walking in a supermarket to buy household supplies, where she meets a boy who exchanges smiles with her. It seems that the two fell in love at first sight. The boy approaches the girl, and when he tries to start a conversation with her, he pulls an orange from a stack of oranges, causing the entire stack to collapse. The boy tries to catch the orange before it falls to the ground, but he fails, making the girl laugh at him. The boy also laughs at the situation, then introduces himself, saying his name is Josh, and the girl replies that her name is Lyra. Later, we see Josh driving his car with Lyra asleep next to him in the passenger seat. Lyra wakes up and tells Josh that she had a beautiful dream, and Josh guesses that she was dreaming about him. Lyra laughs and confirms this. She begins to reminisce about the first day they met and how everything was perfect. Josh responds by saying he remembers every detail of that day, starting from the supermarket and the orange incident. Josh then checks the GPS to make sure they are on the right path. After a while, the two arrive at a place in the middle of the forest, where they find a large house, contrary to what Josh's friend had described as a small rustic cabin. Before entering the house, Lyra seems tense, so Josh reassures her and asks her to enjoy her time and not think about anything negative. Josh rings the doorbell, and Kate opens the door. She appears forced in her welcome to Lyra, and it becomes clear that her relationship with Lyra is not the best. Josh and Lyra enter the house, where Kate begins to introduce Josh to Sergey, the owner of the house. Kate asks about Iris, and she is told that Iris has gone to unpack her things and take a shower. In the evening, everyone gathers and starts talking about how each of them met their partner. Josh tells the story of how he met Eli. He was at a party and didn't know anyone, so he felt a hand touch his shoulder. When he turned around, he saw a green dinosaur telling him that he was standing on its tail. When Josh looked, he found that he was indeed standing on the dinosaur's tail, so he moved away. Then the dinosaur took off its head, and Josh discovered that it was the most beautiful man he had ever seen, Eli. Later, Iris talks about love, saying that when you see someone for the first time and feel that they are a stranger to you, you will want to do anything to make that person happy. Eli plays some music, and everyone starts dancing together, having a great time. The next morning, Iris wakes up and asks Josh if he is ready to go to the lake. Josh replies that he is not ready yet because he needs to take a shower. Iris suggests that they go together, but Josh insists that she go first and enjoy her time. Iris goes to the lake, where there is no one else but her. Iris opens a pamphlet she was carrying, and when she feels movement behind her, she turns to see Sergey. Iris quickly hides the pamphlet and decides to return to the house, but Sergey asks her to stay. Iris agrees and sits down, then Sergey asks her to apply sunscreen on his back and shoulders because he can't reach them and doesn't want to get tanned. Iris agrees and starts applying sunscreen to his back, but Sergey grabs her hand and tries to assault her, saying that she has forgotten about Kate. Iris screams, asking him to stop, but he doesn't listen. Iris returns to the house with torn clothes and her face covered in blood, holding a knife in her hand. Everyone is shocked by her appearance, so she tells them what happened with Sergey and how he tried to assault her and didn't stop until she hit him with a bottle on his head. When he fell to the ground, he tried to assault her again, so she stabbed him in the neck with the knife, killing him. Iris says that all she could think about was that if she died, she would never see Josh again because she loves him so much. Josh asks her to go to sleep, and Iris loses consciousness, becoming like a robot. Josh ties Iris to a chair and discusses what happened with his friends. They decide to report the incident to the police, and Josh explains that what happened with Iris was a technical error, confirming that she is a robot. Josh asks Eli to wait because he wants to say goodbye to Iris. Josh sits in front of Iris and asks her to wake up, which she does, appearing frightened. Iris asks why he tied her hands, and Josh tells her that she killed Sergey. Iris replies that she did it in self-defense, but Josh reveals the truth to her. She is a robot designed for sexual desires, and all her memories of university and jobs were just programming. Iris insists that her memories are real, especially those with Josh, but he confirms that it was all an illusion. Josh tells her that the first time he saw her was when the company brought her to him, and they asked him to sign for a receipt, saying that she would fulfill all his needs and desires only. She says to him, "But I feel anger and hunger, and all of that is part of your programming to make me seem natural to you." He apologizes to her. She tells him she belongs to him, and he should forget what happened and they should go back home together. He apologizes to her and says he can't do that. Kat enters and says, "Turn off Aries." Aries gets scared and starts crying. Josh takes Aries outside to talk to her. At the same time, Aries sees the knife that fell on the ground and tries to move to grab it. She reaches it and frees her hands. Josh comes in, and she hits him in the face, takes his phone, apologizes to him, and runs out into the forest. Josh and his friends gather, and Josh tells them that he hacked Aries, making her more aggressive and capable of self-defense, and that she escaped before he could reset her. He explains that if the manufacturing company finds her before they do and discovers what he did, he'll be in big trouble. So, his friends decide to help him find Aries before the company does. Later, we see Kat taking her friends to show them Sergei's bedroom, and she opens his safe to find $12 million inside. We learn that Josh and Aries had been there before and planned all of this so that Aries would kill Sergei, making it look like an accident, and then they would take the money. Josh says the money will be split equally among the three of them. Ellie says there are 4 of them, but Josh replies that Patrick is just a robot too. Ellie disconnects Patrick so he doesn't hear Josh's words. They all agree to search for Aries together, and Ellie reactivates Patrick. Next, we see Aries in the forest, opening Josh's phone and playing with her settings, changing her eye color and voice tone, and completely disabling Josh's control over her. After that, we see Josh and his friends in the forest, deciding to split into 2 groups, each searching in a different direction. At the same time, we see Aries thinking about what to do and deciding to return and take Josh's car by controlling it through his phone, heading back home. On her way, she sees Ellie and Patrick and hides from them. But Josh's phone rings, revealing her location. Ellie pulls out a gun and heads toward the sound, so Aries runs, and Ellie and Patrick chase her. Ellie tackles Aries, and they fall to the ground. Aries tries to escape, but Ellie grabs the gun and pins her down to stop her from moving. Aries grabs the gun and shoots Ellie, killing him. Josh and Patrick return, and Aries gets into Josh's car, using the phone to start it. Josh can't get in, and the car drives toward the house in the city. However, the car suddenly stops because Josh reported it stolen, and Aries can't get out. Josh returns to his friends and resets Patrick, who forgets everything and starts following Josh's orders. Josh instructs Patrick to retrieve Aries and his phone. Later, we see Aries after she breaks the car window and gets out. She finds a police car behind her, and an officer steps out, asking her name and where she's from. Aries answers, and they learn she was at Sergei's house. The officer offers to take her back there since her car has issues, but she refuses. The detective notices blood on her knife in the car, pulls out his gun, and ties her hands. At the same time, Patrick arrives, kills the officer, takes Aries and Josh's phone, and returns to Josh. Then we see Josh and Kat in the dead officer's car, and Josh asks about the officer. Patrick tells him he's in the car, so they go to check and find the officer's body, shocking Kat and Josh. Kat enters Sergei's room, fills a bag with money, and decides to leave Josh. Josh begs her not to go, but she doesn't listen. Josh orders Patrick to stop her, so Patrick stabs her in the back with a knife, killing her. Josh is shocked by Patrick's actions, but Patrick responds, "You told me to stop her." After that, we see Josh and Aries having dinner at a table with candles lit, and Aries is tied to the chair. Josh wakes Aries, and she curses at him. He says, "You're the reason all my friends are dead." She replies, "No, you're the one who did this to them and used me to kill Sergei and take his money." He asks, "How did you know?" She answers, "I heard Patrick and Ellie talking in the forest." Josh gets angry, changes her programming settings, and makes her obey all his commands. He orders her to extend her hands and feet, and she does. He moves a candle under her hands, and the flame starts burning her. She feels intense pain and screams but can't move her hands or disobey his orders. Her hands burn completely, and Josh orders Eric to extinguish the fire, which he does. Then Josh tells her to take the gun he placed near her feet. She takes it, and he orders her to point it at her head and kill herself. She does so and dies. Josh calls the manufacturing company and tells them that Ares killed all his friends and Sergey, the homeowner. Patrick testifies with him, but the company workers don't notice that Patrick is also a robot because his model is outdated. The workers tell Josh they'll retrieve the camera inside Ares, and he replies that her brain is destroyed. They inform him that the storage unit is in her abdomen, not her brain, and her abdomen is intact. They take Ares and leave, but before they go, they reset Ares' settings, making her beautiful again, but she freezes during the loading process. They place her in the car and drive off. While driving, they find Patrick standing in the middle of the road and realize he's a robot. At the same time, Patrick pulls out a gun, kills one of the company workers, and shoots at the other, who runs into the forest. Patrick chases the worker into the forest, continues shooting, and then starts strangling him. Meanwhile, Ares wakes up and heads toward Patrick's voice. She talks to him, reminding him of Ellie and his love for her and what he did to her. Patrick remembers everything and shoots himself, dying. Ares returns to Josh and threatens him with the gun, but Josh says she can't do anything and takes the gun from her. He starts beating her, and Ares tries to defend herself, but he's stronger and keeps hitting her. Ares grabs a glass-breaking tool and strikes Josh in the head, killing him. Finally, we see Ares taking a shower, then gathering all the money into a bag and leaving with it. The film ends. If you like the summary, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more summaries.